My name is Brandon Andress, and I'm celebrating the 1-year anniversary of my novel, What Can't Be Hidden. And I have to tell you, the last year has been really pretty mind-blowing. I was really concerned whenever I started working on a fiction work that no one would read it. I've spent so many years writing nonfiction, and I didn't know if people would trust me enough to buy the book and read it. And it's really been overwhelming, from the way that people have wanted to meet with me and go through their notebooks of notes that they've taken, to wanting to meet one-on-one, to have me meeting with their book club group to answer questions and just dig deeper, to all of the notes that I've received one-on-one from the advocacy and support of other authors and local bookstores, and just the 5-star reviews in general. It's been so gratifying, so humbling, and I deeply, deeply appreciate it.
I had read a few books written by Brandon Andress, and I always liked how they challenged me. So I was quite honored when he asked me to look at one of his first drafts of That Which Can Be Hidden. And I thought that was such a nice thing for him to do. And what he did was he would send me a couple of chapters, and I'd read them, and then it would be a few more days or weeks till I would get the second lot. And I was to the point where I couldn't wait to get them because they were so good, and I couldn't wait to see what the protagonists, how they were going to handle some of the challenges and conflicts that they were coming by. The other thing I liked about this book was that there's a lot of symbolism, and as a retired English teacher, it was fascinating to me to see how hard Brandon worked to integrate the symbolism, and some of the names of the characters had very insightful meanings to how they would react to any given situation. And I think it's a book that appeals to all ages. It's very timely. And it also is sort of, you can't pick out the time period that it's in. It could be anywhere, any place in time. But it's definitely a book that would appeal to teenagers, and that's why I've encouraged Brandon to try to see if he can get kids to read it in the schools, because it's a book that I think would intrigue them, interest them, high interest level. And each character represents a little piece of ourselves. So I encourage you to read it, and I encourage Brandon to write more books because he's very good at it. I really am pleased that he included me in his journey.
What Can't Be Hidden. What an amazing book. Similar to Tolkien and C.S. Lewis, it's allegory, world building, character building, beautiful setting. The world is different than our own, but kind of eerily similar. The book speaks with topics like freedom and truth and division and religion and spirituality and politics, and so good, so many layers. I've read it several times, and every time I read it I discover new things that teaches me about myself, and I highly recommend the book. Check it out. I think you're gonna love it.
What Can't Be Hidden is a beautifully written piece of fiction that kept me engaged throughout the entire book. There are so many things that I enjoyed about it, but if I had to highlight one aspect, it's probably the thought and the depth that was put into each of the character developments. I saw pieces of myself in each of the characters, and as I reflect over my life and how my beliefs have shifted, it was just very engaging, captivating, and actually insightful as I evaluate my own inner world. There's so many lessons that can be learned from your book, and it's relevant in today's dynamically changing global world. So thank you, Brandon, for sharing your insights and your talents through this wonderfully written book. I cannot recommend it highly enough. And to commemorate the 1-year anniversary, I'll probably read it again And I'm sure that there were so many things that I probably missed on the first read. I probably enjoy the second read even more.
I have to say that What Can't Be Hidden is probably one of my most favorite books I've ever read. I loved the story. I loved that there were multiple layers that weaved throughout the book. What I was surprised was how much it caused me to take a look at myself and my beliefs and how I treat other people. Just excellent book. So I highly recommend it for everybody.
What I loved most about What Can't Be Hidden by Brandon Andress was the beautiful portrayal of community that is only possible when everyone has a shared vision of flourishing for the whole.
This book is an allegory, which means there's a story beneath the story. So in one sense, I wanted to write a book that would just be entertaining, that would be a page turner, that you wouldn't want to put down and that you would enjoy. But at another level, it's telling us something deeper about who we are as a people and how we can explore and grow and transform into something new.
Yeah, your book is incredible, man. What I love about the book is the characters and their development and the insight and the knowledge and the wisdom that some of the characters hold. It's a great read. Once you pick it up, you can't put it down. That's how it was for me. And I recommend the book to everybody. One of my favorite parts about the book is the ending. Boom. Blow your mind.
Hey, I love the book What Can't Be Hidden because in it, Brandon weaves a beautiful story that I found myself connected to through nearly every character. Some good, some bad, some painful, but each of them helping me process the feelings and emotions that I've gone through in my own faith journey over the past few years. If you haven't read it yet, highly recommend it. Check it out. Thanks.
What Can't Be Hidden resonated so deeply within me. It is a timeless tale, one I think we all can relate to, about growing up with what we know and then living and finding out about the truths that are under the surface that have been there the whole time. And once we begin to explore and dig deeper, we learn more about ourselves and the world. I can't recommend it enough.
Hey, I just want to take a moment to congratulate you, Brandon, on the 1-year anniversary of What Can't Be Hidden. It's hard to believe it's been a year, and I appreciate you letting me read it a little earlier than that. The book has just stayed with me this whole year. The characters, the plot twists, the allegory, it's all just been great. So again, congratulations on 1 year.
What I like about What Can't Be Hidden is how the book hooks you and draws you in, and before you know it, it's already late. You think, I can read one more chapter, and then 4 chapters later, you're still reading.
If you spend time with the book, there's so many layers and so many truths that continue to be true that will help you grow as an individual, and I believe that will help our culture in general. And that's why I really believe that the future of this book is unlimited, because the last year has been great and it's had an impact, but I really feel like that it can speak to more people and it can help heal. It's like a salve to some of the wounds that we have. And so I deeply believe in it. I think that it's a subversive book. It's not preachy at all. And I think that it leads people in a way that will meet them where they're at, to meet you as a reader where you're at. So,
if I was going to boil down what I really liked about What Can't Be Hidden, it would be the depth of the story. If you were to look at it just on the surface level, it has all the elements you need for a really good book, but it's not until you start to peel back the layers, not only of the characters, but also the story itself, that you begin to realize what a fascinating journey it is into self-discovery and redemption, not just for the characters, but also for the reader. I'm really glad I decided to read What Can't Be Hidden this year, and I think you will be too.
My hope is that when you read What Can't Be Hidden by Brandon Andress, you will find, like I did, places within your deepest self that are simultaneously troubled, challenged, and encouraged by the possibility of newness of life. That is what this story is about. This is your story. This is my story. And most importantly, this is our story.
What Can't Be Hidden is an absolutely amazing book. It is one of the most intriguing and thought-provoking books I have read. This book is relevant to our times and is written for such a time as this. It captures the true essence of love, forgiveness, and hope. You don't want to miss this one.
All right, Brandon's book, What Can't Be Hidden. This book is phenomenal. A couple things about it is, number one, it had me staying up way past my bedtime because I couldn't put it down. It is super compelling. Number two, with all the multiple layers and hidden Easter eggs, you can take this book as deep as you want it, or you can have it just be a super compelling read. It is awesome. Buy the book.
I really feel like that the last year has just been a warm-up to what this book is going to do. In many ways, it's more relevant to this time than even last year, surprisingly. There are so many ideas that the book explores, that looks at how entrenched we are in culture, how we let the power systems that we live within control us with fear. And I think within that, there's just this yearning that there could be so much more, that there's a deeper wisdom in living, and that we long for freedom and we long for peace, and maybe not even in the ways that we define them, but in ways that we've not known before. And that's the idea of the book. It just explores these deeper narratives and themes of human longing and growth and forgiveness and abandoning people and institutions that have controlled us for so long. And I just really believe that it just continues to ring true.
Happy book anniversary to What Can't Be Hidden. On that theme, you might not have read it yet, and that's a problem. It is one of the best things that I've read in quite some time. I read it myself at the ocean with the waves lapping at my feet, and I am really weakly still reminded of many of the characters that I latched onto and still see myself in. And so if you have not yet read this book, please read this book. More importantly, happy anniversary to the book itself.
I read What Can't Be Hidden about a year ago, right after it first came out, and it really made me think a lot and go in depth and really connect with a lot of the characters in a lot of different ways. I really suggest that you read it. It's a really good book.
In What Can't Be Hidden, Brandon Andress transported me to a distant place and kept me breathless until the very last paragraph. This captivating story first struck me as unbelievable, and then as undeniably true and applicable to my current world. The truth is within us. It's hard to describe, and sometimes it's hard to uncover, but ultimately it can't be hidden.
My favorite part of What Can't Be Hidden? That ending. Still haunts me, man, that ending.
I grew up on this island and was told that we lived in freedom. But this freedom was a prison. A prison I have to escape.